And well, we have some breaking news coming in from Doha. Qatar has temporarily suspended air traffic around the country. The announcement was made by Qatar's foreign ministry. The warning comes after Iran threatened retaliation for US strikes on its nuclear sites. Well, things are really heating up in West Asia as of now. Iranian military has warned that it will respond strongly against US forces. Remember, Qatar is home to the United States' largest base in the region. Flight trackers show airlines are avoiding airspace over Iran, Iraq and Israel, while some have cancelled services to areas on the southern side of the Gulf. Some flights are now being routed over Saudi and up through Egypt and into Europe that way, and they are not going through Iran, Iraq or even Jordan. That's the news coming in as the Israel-Iran war enters day 11 and reports suggesting that Iran could attack US bases in West Asia. Qatar has now temporarily suspended air traffic around the country. Well, the authorities announced the temporary suspension of air traffic in the country's airspace as a part of a set of precautionary measures taken based on in the region. And that's what the Qatar Foreign Ministry has said. American targets are now squarely in Iran's crosshairs. Washington knows that the clock is ticking. American bases in West Asia is on a high alert. US warships and fighter jets are on standby. Now the big question being, when and where will Iran attack?
Iran and Israel are locked in a deadly battle. Now the US has entered the fray. American stealth bombers dropped massive bunker busters. Operation Midnight Hammer targeted Iran's most fortified nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz and Isfahan. President Trump hails the operation as a complete success.
Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime, the world's most dangerous weapons.
But as the dust settles, US intelligence and Pentagon officials are bracing for the inevitable, Iran's retaliation. Iranian military issued a chilling warning to Trump that you may start this war, but we will be the ones to end it.
This crime and violation of dignity will not go unanswered, by God's grace. In response to this American mistake, too, we will take firm action appropriate to their aggressive move.
The warning isn't empty. In 2020, Iran had launched a series of missile attacks on US facilities in Iraq. Days after the US assassinated top Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. Now, across the region, more than 40,000 American troops are on high alert. The US has stationed two massive aircraft carriers, USS Gerald Ford and USS Carl Vinson in the region, while the third USS Nimitz is rushing to the region.
Well, I guess you have two kinds of wars. You have an Iranian response directly against American assets. Geography is destiny. We have 40,000 troops deployed within range of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles. They have thousands of those. 2,500 troops in Iraq, probably less than 1,000 in Syria. They're vulnerable.
The countries with the most US troops include Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, Iraq and Saudi Arabia. These installations serve as critical hubs for air and naval operations, regional logistics, intelligence gathering and force projection. Experts say that despite the intense fighting over the last 10 days, Iran still maintains a massive stockpile of weaponry. Iran has medium-range ballistic and cruise missiles, apart from attack drones which could be used to threaten US bases in West Asia. Another option for Tehran is to use its proxies, which though weakened can still launch deadly attacks against the American forces in the region. The world is watching, breath held, as the next move could ignite a regional inferno. For now, the message from Tehran is clear. Every American target is now a potential bullseye. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
A brutal, targeted attack on Syria's Christian community has shocked the world. At least 22 people are dead after shooting and suicide bombing at a church in Damascus, the first of its kind since Syria's civil war began. The Islamic State has now claimed responsibility. It all happened on Sunday during a packed service at St. Elias Church in the Dwellah area of Damascus. A man with an assault rifle stormed in, opened fire, and then blew himself up using a suicide belt. The pews were shattered, the walls were torn, and there was blood on the floor.
This is not the first time that the ISIS organization has attempted to target civilians with criminal acts. The Ministry of Interior has previously thwarted 2 attempted bombings, one at the Sayyida Zainab Shrine and another at the Malula Church through complex security operations. We, at the Ministry of Interior, are working with the relevant authorities to uncover the details of the incident, complete the investigation, and gather evidence to reveal the identity of the perpetrator.
Syrian officials say that the attacker was a member of ISIS, making this the first suicide bombing inside a church since the war began in 2011. The Interior Ministry confirmed 22 dead, 63 injured.
A man entered the church shouting, "Allahu Akbar," and blew up the entire place. Children have died. What had those children carrying candles done to deserve this?
Families are still searching for their loved ones. Children and elderly were among those inside the church. The Orthodox Patriarchate has called on authorities to protect churches and citizens. Syria's Christian population has dropped from over 1 million before the war to fewer than just 300,000 today. Years of displacement, fear, and now targeted violence have taken their toll. The Islamic State has been behind several attempted attacks on churches in Syria since Assad's fall. But this was the first one to succeed. And according to Reuters, Islamic State had previously targeted religious minorities, including a major attack on Shiite pilgrims in Sayyida Zainab in 2016, which is one of the most notorious bombings during Assad's rule. And this latest assault underscores the group's continued ability to exploit security gaps, despite the collapse of its territorial control and years of counter-terror efforts in Syria.
I wonder why they target us. We had no benefit in anything that happened in the country. We only want for Syria to live in peace. We did not carry weapons. We did not stand against anyone. We did not ask for posts. No one of us wants to become a president. No one wants to be a prime minister. No one is approaching anything. Why does this happen to this peaceful people?
Condemnation has poured in from around the world. The United Nations called it a heinous crime. The US pledged support for Syria against forces spreading fear. Turkey and France urged unity and protection for all minorities. Greek Prime Minister called on the new government of Syria to protect ethnic and religious minorities. And Greece is primarily an Orthodox country.
I want to express my disgust and rage over the recent terrorist attack on the Mar Elias Orthodox Church in Damascus, and I want to call on the new government of Syria to ensure the safety of ethnic and religious minorities. Such tragic incidents make us very anxious.
Syria's new government, which took over after the fall of Bashar al-Assad in December, is now under pressure to prove that it can keep its people safe. Syria's interior minister has said that an investigation is underway and called the bombing a desperate attempt to undermine peace. But security experts warn that ISIS is perhaps shifting focus right now in Syria, aiming for high-impact and sectarian attacks. Just last month, ISIS operatives were caught near Damascus, allegedly planning more strikes on minority communities. With this latest attack, Syria is mourning not just the dead, but the return of an old fear. And for the Christians in the region, the message from ISIS is chillingly clear. They are once again in the crosshairs.